Hi, welcome to our latest edition of Teachers Recommend Golden Rule books. As many of you have heard, Hudson is doing an initiative, a Golden Rule campaign, and it's such a wonderful idea to teach everybody to treat others how we want to be treated. And sometimes it's hard to remember, and one thing that's really difficult sometimes for kids is empathy. So today's books are all about empathy. And I'm joined with Lisa Plackner, Kelly Curtis, Catherine Schulte, and Carolyn Wolf, all teachers within our district. And we all have a great book to recommend. I will start off with mine. And today I am recommending The Lumberjack's Beard. It's by Duncan Beattie. And I just love this book. I found it, I read something about it online. It's just a cute book about a lumberjack. And what do lumberjacks do? They cut down forests. And as he's cutting down the forest, he's finding that animals are mad at him. And so he tries to think of how they feel and find a different place for them to live because he took away their home. Well, he decides that that would be his beard. They don't seem to mind, but throughout time, as more animals take shelter in his beard, his life is just not the same. And so he has to figure out what to do, but all the time he's thinking about others and thinking about how they are feeling. And so he ends up cutting off his beard so that he can eat his pancakes every day without them flapping them on the floor. And then what he ends up doing as his beard is growing back, he starts growing a new forest for his friends. It's just a wonderful story about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. And I totally recommend The Lumberjack's Beard by Duncan Beattie. And now we'll go to Kelly Curtis.
All right, so this is a really fun book, and I mean, it could have fit in a bunch of different categories, I suppose. But Do Unto Otters is a hilarious book, and of course, it's a play on words. So with the golden rule, and so it's all about these otters that move into the rabbit's neighborhood, and they're completely different from the rabbit. And the rabbit is trying to figure out how to deal with these very, very different creatures. I mean, you couldn't be as opposite as these two characters. And so the rabbit is trying to figure out, well, the wise owl says, well, Mr. Rabbit, I know an old saying, do unto otters as you would have otters do unto you. So it's all about the rabbit figuring out, well, I would want otters to be, friendly. And, so it's hilarious. It's colorful. I don't remember if I said the author, but it's Lori Keller, and her books are just so fun. And then of course it works through the whole story. Is the otters being so like rambunctious and like taking this neighborhood by storm, and the rabbit sort of figuring out that maybe they can get along, and that he just has to put himself in their shoes a little bit. So super fun story. I mean, you're gonna giggle, and I encourage you to read it. Lisa.
I agree, Kelly. That's a favorite for the kinders too. They love that. My story I found, again, it's a new one I found last year, called Red, a Crayon Story by Michael Hall, and illustrated by Michael Hall as well. And I really love this story, thinking it was just going to be a color word book. So I was starting to read it, and as I was reading it, it just really hit home to me as a teacher and as a mom. And what it's about is a crayon who, I'm trying to find it, the crayon who came from the factory. The crayon's actually blue, but came with a red label. And so when the crayon is at school and friends are trying to have him draw, or the teacher wanted him to draw some red strawberries, well, he drew blue strawberries. And so, of course, that was not correct. So then he started to, complain to his mom, and his mom said, go outside with your friend Yellow and go draw a big orange circle. Well, when they went outside, it wasn't an orange circle, it was a green circle. So he felt defeated again. And so just thinking about the expectations that were placed upon him, and he tried his hardest, and then all of a sudden people, his grandparents, friends, teachers, parents, and everybody had an opinion. Maybe he's lazy, maybe he's not smart, maybe he should try harder. And I just think about all the different learning styles and kids that we have in our classroom, and it just breaks my heart thinking that we expect the same exact result from every student. And even though they may be trying their hardest, they're not ready for it. But one thing that the other school supplies tried to fix him. So maybe if we tape him, maybe if we snip him, maybe if we sharpen him, it'll turn him into red. And so finally, it was somebody new who came and just said, why don't you try to draw water instead? He goes, I can, I'm red. Well, he drew water, and lo and behold, it was blue water. So then he learned how to draw the things that he was good at. So I just think it's a really good message of, society's expectations and, the pressure that is all around you. And sometimes your packaging is different, and it's okay. We just work with what you have, focus on the positive, focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do. And you can be successful in your own way and in your own time. So I really recommend Red, A Crayon Story.
Okay, Mrs. Schulte, would you like to go next? Oh, you're on mute.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Schulte. I'm a teacher, a 4K teacher at Willow River Elementary. And I have a story here. I remember when I saw this story at the store and I picked it up and I thought the title looks different. It's actually called Ish, and the author is Peter Reynolds. And I was intrigued by this book. Can you see the story well enough? Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
So inside this story, there is a little boy named Raymond, and he loves to draw, and he's feeling good about himself, and he draws and draws until somebody says something that's not very nice about one of his drawings. And then he feels defeated, and he doesn't want to draw anymore. And there's so many times where we kind of listen to what somebody else says instead of believing in ourselves. And then his sister came along and started taking his drawings, and he didn't know this, but she started hanging them up in her room. She really loved those drawings. And the piece that was so empathetic to me was that she was doing something and kind of showing him that he had something neat, and all the while he doesn't know it. And one day he comes into her bedroom and he says, why do you have all my artwork up? It's not good. And she says, oh, but I think it's beautiful. So she was kind of feeling a little bit for him and teaching him what a wonderful thing it can be to be yourself and to believe in yourself. And because she was empathetic toward him, he learned again how to draw more. And she called it, I think it looks nice-ish. So he went through life where everything was like maybe okay-ish or good enough-ish. And so he learns at the end that it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can still feel good about yourself. And to have another person believe in you helps that too. So one of my favorite books. Okay. And Mrs. Wolf is next.
Hi, Mrs. Wolf from Rivercrest. I am recommending The Rabbit Listened. And the author is Corey Dorffeld. And I also like it because she is from Minnesota. So it's nice to find nice new artists that are also doing stuff in our hometown-ish, right? Because we also like Minnesota as well as Wisconsin. So the reason why I chose it is because it really reminds me of kindergarten. They sometimes build things amazing. And then, as you probably know, something happens and it all falls down. And this is about how the character in the story feels about how it happens when things don't go just the way you have it all planned in your head. And people try and he doesn't feel any better, and somebody else tries and they try different ways. And they're all animals that try. That one's the elephant who says, but the little person says, but he didn't feel like remembering how to build it. And the the moral of the story really is that they really just needed somebody to listen, and it ended up being the rabbit. So what it really is just that the little ones really want to talk, and they need to find someone to listen, and we all try to help, and we do try, but sometimes I guess it's a lesson for us as well. So it's called The Rabbit Listened by Corey Dorffeld.
Wonderful. Another great set of selections. I love these books, and the ones I haven't read, I can't wait to read. So thank you for joining us today, all of you teachers and everybody watching. Thanks for joining us, and watch out and see if we have any more teachers recommend coming out with books for you to read to your kiddos. And we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have books that you'd like us to know about, please let us know. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.